What's the first sign of a disease outbreak? I worked night shift at the urgent care clinic on Maple Street for 3 years. Mostly it was drunk college kids, sports injuries, and people who couldn't wait until morning to see their regular doctor. But last November, something changed. It started with Mrs. Wilson coming in at 2 a.m. with her grandson Tyler. The kid was maybe 8 years old, throwing up everything he ate. He's been sick for 3 days, she said. Won't stop vomiting. Has this weird rash on his stomach. I took his temperature, 103 degrees. The rash looked like tiny red dots all clustered together. Dr. Foster examined him and said it was probably just a stomach bug. We sent them home with anti-nausea medication. I remember Mrs. Wilson looked worried when they left. She kept saying Tyler had never been this sick before. 2 nights later, 3 more kids came in. Same symptoms: vomiting, high fever, that weird dotted rash, all between ages 6 and 10, all from different parts of town. Dr. Foster seemed concerned, but said it could be coincidence. Probably something going around the elementary schools, he muttered while writing prescriptions. But I noticed something weird. I started keeping a notebook. Every kid who came in with those symptoms, I wrote down their names, addresses, and the exact day they got sick. Within a week, we had 15 cases. All kids. All with the exact same rash pattern. The dots always started on their stomachs, then spread to their arms. Some kids said it burned. I mapped out their addresses on my phone using Google Maps during my lunch break. They formed this perfect circle around the old water treatment plant on Industrial Drive. Every single house was within 2 miles of that plant. Not random, not scattered, a perfect circle. Dr. Foster, look at this. I showed him my map during a quiet moment. Every single kid lives within 2 miles of the treatment plant. This can't be random. He waved me off without really looking. You're not an epidemiologist. Don't start conspiracy theories. Parents read stuff online and panic. But I couldn't stop thinking about it. I drove past the water plant on my way home from my shift that morning. There was this weird smell in the air, like chemicals mixed with something rotten. The grass around the fence was dead, brown and crunchy even though it was only November. That seemed wrong. I called the county health department as soon as I got home. The woman who answered sounded bored, like she'd dealt with paranoid callers all day. We'll look into it, she said with zero emotion. But we can't investigate every stomach bug that goes around schools. I tried explaining the pattern, the map, the circle around the plant. She cut me off and said they'd add it to their list of concerns. 3 days later, a teacher from Lincoln Elementary collapsed during class. Same symptoms: high fever, vomiting, the rash spreading up her arms. Then 2 more teachers got sick, then a lunch lady, then the principal, all within 48 hours. That's when the health department finally showed up. They tested the water at the school, found bacteria levels so high they shut down the building immediately, sent everyone home. Turns out the water treatment plant had been dumping partially treated sewage into the reservoir for months. Some valve had broken back in August and nobody bothered to fix it properly. The bacteria in the water was making everyone sick, but it only affected certain areas where the pipes were old and rusty. The newer neighborhoods had filtered systems. By the time they figured it out, 73 people were hospitalized. 2 kids ended up in intensive care with kidney damage. The mayor held this big press conference saying they'd investigate how this happened. But here's the part that still makes me angry. I went back through my notebook. The first kid, Tyler Wilson, came in on November 3rd. I called the health department on November 7th with my concerns and my map. They didn't test the water until November 20th. 13 days. 13 days where they could have stopped it. 13 days where kids kept drinking poisoned water because nobody wanted to listen to a night shift nurse with a hunch. Dr. Foster apologized later, said I had good instincts and should have been taken more seriously. The health department sent me this generic thank you letter printed on cheap paper. But Tyler Wilson spent 2 weeks in the hospital. His kidneys almost failed. He's okay now, but he still has to see specialists every few months. His grandmother hugged me when she found out I'd tried to warn people. I keep that notebook in my locker. Every weird pattern, every unusual symptom, every gut feeling, I write it down now. I even started a group chat with other nurses at different clinics. Because the first sign of a disease outbreak isn't some dramatic movie moment with hazmat suits and sirens. It's 3 kids with the same rash that nobody thinks is connected. It's a nurse with a notebook that everyone ignores until it's almost too late.